right, welcome to the 10th and final session of Blades in the Dark, Cult of Tides. Why don't we get to introducing everybody right away? Let's start over here. We have Steve. Why don't you tell us about your character last session?
Tell us about the character. Ramira is a former noble merchant. Fell on hard times after his fleet was destroyed. Ended up being saved by Shanas, the goddess of the cult. And now he's gone all in with being the next high priest.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah, so give us, feel your character through the whole thing. Go ahead, Junker. This is Cassie Mouse, by the way.
Uh, yes. Junker is a leech, and she is basically fell in with the cult, trying to search for arcane knowledge, and realize that these people are completely crazy, and is looking to get out as soon as possible. And she definitely turned into something of a marksman over time.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, and Dr. Oculari over here.
Hello. My character is called Fish. Fish was raised as an orphan. Has always felt an affinity toward water and has the ability to hold their breath for a long time underwater. Not miraculously long time, but enough for fish to begin to wonder whether they were actually, at least in part, genetically related. And I can never remember the name of the group, but the area and the world with
the Tycherosi.
Yeah,
Tycherosians,
yeah, with whose people are would they be called demons? I forget if that's
some people do call them demons. Yeah, they're definitely demon blooded.
Yeah,
from way back when.
They have sometimes obvious characteristics that make them something other than clearly human. And he's or they've recently found some evidence that their belief might be true. And Fish is a stealthy person. Fish likes to operate in the shadows and tell people a lot less about who they are than I'm saying right now.
Cool. All right. And then last but not least, we have Neocrete.
Excellent. Breaker is was a veteran of the Unity War between the Empire and Scotland. He is Scotlander. He was left broken by that war, but there was one moment near the end of the war where he gained great strength through Shanas, and from that led him to looking into that strength, which led him to the cult. And he has dived wholeheartedly, heart and soul, into the cult as a way to escape his past demons and find new meaning again. As a person who was basically born into war, he really can't see anywhere else for him to go. It's not violence of some kind or commanding violence or being related to it in some way. And he essentially saw himself as a dead man walking before Shanas brought him purpose again. Over the course of the campaign, this belief has only deepened, and his current plan is to position himself as essentially a high military, like the leader of the armed forces of the cult, the military arm of the cult, the cult militant, if you
Cults
will.
never have like a violent tendency portion to them.
So if Ramira is trying to become the high priest of the cult, he would become like the head crusader, the head of its militant wing.
Excellent. Cool. All right, so awesome, and of course I'm Scott of Scott's Case Files, the channel you're watching, and thank you for coming. Again, this is our 10th and final session of the campaign. I'll kind of as we kind of conclude things later, I want to take some time to kind of talk about the campaign and the characters and that kind of thing. But again, we'll leave that for later. For now, I figured unless you guys want to do some free play, we'll jump right in. Does anybody want to? Did Junker need to get her ticket or anything? Did Fish need to make some quick escape plan? Or
Well, I think I set up my escape plan last session.
yep. Yeah, you basically set up your new identity and passage out of the city. Fish, did you need to do anything, or did anyone else want to free play anything?
I don't need to free play. I mean, there are things that might come up eventually.
That's fine. Cool. Let's see here. Breaker or Peacock? Anything you wanted to free play before we jumped in?
Nope.
I don't have anything that I can think of really.
Cool. All right. So yeah, let's go. I'm sorry. Did you say something, Fish?
Thinking.
Go Breaker.
Nothing unusual. Just it would just be like time spent training with his troops, and he would actually he would start training them, trying to train his unit in his ghost find techniques. Like if we were to continue this, if the game were to continue past this session, my long-term project would be to give all of his men Ghost Fighter. So
Gotcha.
he would be. He doesn't know it's ending, so he is going to be doing that. So that would be what he'd be doing, trying to train them, give him his talents and his techniques.
Awesome.
Cool. In proceeding, I just noticed we didn't do downtime yet, did we?
No, I don't think we did our downtime.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I definitely want to, indulge my vice to take some stress down if I can.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is the final session, so let's do this. We're gonna do something a little different.
Oh.
Yes. So again, last chance you get to kind of do things with the character. So go ahead and let's remove all stress. So I'll let each of you handle this on your own.
What?
So remove all stress.
Just there's a little X underneath stress. Yeah. Just click that, and that way I'll wipe it out.
All right.
Yep. So let all stress removed. Let's give you one action advance. So put another dot in an action, and take one.
The insight prowess resolve stuff, right?
The hunt.
Right.
Yeah, hunt, study, survey, tinker. So take another dot. Also give yourself a playbook advance. So special ability.
All right.
And again, it can be from any playbook at this point. So.
Okay.
So that would be just give an extra dot for something from insight.
Yeah, or no, wherever you want. I mean, hunt, study, attune, command, consort. I'm telling you, you get a free dot.
Just a free dot forever. Okay. Ooh.
Yes, and like I said, also take a playbook advance. And be familiar with what it is, because I don't have time to pay attention to it right now. All right, and just let me know when you guys are ready and what you picked.
Well, I've been meaning to grab such. Oh. Oh no, and I have to decide. Oh no.
No pressure.
It would be prowl for the dot, because that's just prowl is just a good one to have. So I'm at 2 prowl. I'm debating whether a closing of the eye or Battleborn.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What are they both, just to put it out there?
What was that? Oh yes, for everyone. So Battleborn it's the base, like, most versatile ability. It's the Cutter's version of it. Can expend his special armor ability. Can expend special armor to reduce harm from an attack in combat, or to push yourself during a fight. So you just get a free push or a free harm reduction. And then closing of the eye is a cult ability, which allows you to just say, I'm just going to resist this supernatural harm, and just take one stress, no matter what the roll you get, regardless of whatever roll you get for the stress.
Oh, that's the Elder
The ascended,
Gods.
yeah,
thing?
Elder
Gotcha.
Gods ascended cultist ability. Yeah,
Gotcha. Cool.
so I can take that as a veteran advance.
Cool. How about everybody else? What are you thinking? What are you looking at? Sorry to pop that on you, but again, this is kind of last session.
Let's see. I'm pretty know what I'm going to do. I'll put another dot in wreck, and I'll take Ghost Ward. You know how to wreck an area with arcane substances and methods, so it's anathema or enticing to spirits.
Neat.
And can, ooh, okay, closing. I think I'm gonna have to choose closing of the eye, because based on the wording, it looks like I can make that declaration after I roll, so that's pretty good.
Sounds
And
good.
it also removes terror from the supernatural, so I can actually interact with the supernatural without having to make the usual roll to just not be terrified.
Gotcha.
So, which that would be something he would be, and it's deepening his connection to Shanas. So
Very cool.
it makes sense in his character, because he wants to be more connected, so he can't be running away or freezing up whenever he has to deal with something supernatural.
Cool. All right, Fish or Peacock?
So I was going to increase a tune to get a little bit closer to my priesty status. And then last session I had already taken Glorious Visage.
Yep.
Which I'm putting in the chat, which is pretty horrible for everyone other than me.
It's not important.
So for my advance, I'm going to take actually mesmerism. When I sway someone, I can cause them to forget that it's happened until they next interact with me.
Very cool.
So I had, all the prowess thingies filled up, and then with the other, dot that I got, I put both of those into skirmish.
Oh,
so
neat.
I have two dots in skirmish now.
Nice. So a 3 prowess. Very nice.
And for the advancement, I'm doing Ghost Veil. You may shift partly into the ghost field and become shadowy and unsubstantial.
Very cool.
For a few minutes. And at the end it says, you are invisible.
Yeah. Takes you stress when you shift.
And you are invisible. Well, I'm not worried about stress right now.
You're the only one then.
Okay. Well, we deleted all our stress, right?
Right. I was just speaking in general.
Yeah. So I got all that stress, all those stress, ticks that I fill up again.
Cool. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
That's incredibly helpful. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. That's definitely elevates you to master level. Very cool.
Oh, really?
All right. Is that everybody? We good?
Yeah? Yes.
All right.
Looks like it.
All right. Cool. All right, let's do this. So you guys are kind of doing your thing. You may or may not have noticed, Junker kind of separating herself from the group, maybe, or Fish kind of just finding interest outside the lair, that kind of thing. But you guys are kind of doing your thing. Breaker has probably just gotten back from training the cohorts. Um, this was a pretty hard day. Even he's all sweaty and a little bloody here and there. Someone learned a little too well that day and caught him a couple times. Peacock is probably going over some books. Probably been taking some time with Eva. Did I get it right finally?
Yes.
I always do the wrong one. Eva, yes, Eva. Yeah, probably spending some time with Eva. Strangely, probably disconcerting to others even the adepts of the cult. Even given that she's like a cult elder, if you will.
Yeah, but I assume her voice is unusual as well as just most people just not liking ghosts.
Most people. There's like that. Just you see a ghost, instinctive.
Exactly.
Even if the ghost isn't trying to scare you, it's just a reaction. It's just a natural reaction.
Especially when it hovers through you.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So.
But now Breaker will no longer have that happen to him.
He'll stop peeing a little every time, but everything's gonna be fine. So yeah. So you guys are kind of doing your own thing. There comes a point where you meet in the common area, and your original two adepts walk into the room, and they're in that linked state, like you guys have kind of gotten used to over time, and they kind of it's weird today. In fact, they're like shaking and shivering as they get to you, and they stand next to each other like they do when they're in this mode, and they start quaking. Their heads are going just like it's a fit, like they're in the middle of a seizure of some kind that they can't fall down from. It's just disturbing. It's intense. Their whole body starts to shake and quake. I should probably what are their names? I know I took a note of it, and that was the last I saw of it.
I have them since I named them, I think.
Probably
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Yeah. What are they? All right, not important. So they kind of both do their shaking.
Yeah, I say it. It's Christoph and Loretta.
Christoph and Loretta. There you go. So Christoph, as going through these trembles and shakes, he starts bleeding out the nose. The eyeballs start to bleed. Eventually, he starts, blood starts gushing out his mouth as he's shaking. Simultaneously, the woman whose name I already forgot, even though you told me just a second ago. Loretta, thank you. Loretta, kind of simultaneously as this is happening, her eyeballs actually pop out of her skull, and the top of her head explodes. Basically, it's this horror show in front of you. The top of her head is gone. Brain matter is splattered on the ceiling of your hidden lair. The other is now at this point just blood is covering the entire front of his clothing, the entire front of it. And eventually it's just like it stops there. It's all gone. They do have working mouths, both of them, and they do their weird ass back and forth. You have served the goddess well, and now it is time for you to take your place, where others have neglected it. And suddenly they look to each other with no eyes and look back to you. You must sacrifice Lady Evangeline and take her place. You have ascended. You must take your place and ascend. and then they just collapse. They're like, they basically continue their shaking and shimmying, and after a while, about 5 minutes later, suddenly it stops. There's just nothing left in them, and that's it. There's gore everywhere. This is the worst mess that you haven't had an adept to clean up for. Actually, I suppose you have others, but these are the two main ones. So, Lady Evangeline is your patron, basically, and she is a priestess of Shnas. But apparently, Shnas has found her wanting, and it is now time to correct that error and replace her with some people who are actually worthy of it.
Time to bring in some new blood.
What do you do? So Junker isn't even here. She's like, you guys turn around and like she's not even there. She's like, I'm kidding. So yeah, what do you guys do?
Sprints off.
Yeah, she's definitely if she is there, she's definitely white knuckling a table.
Ramira has kind of a crazed but happy look. Like, finally, the time has come.
Breaker's actually Adrian is right there, right there with him. like there's just like you can see, it's a bit of like whoa, like taken aback a bit just from just the sheer gore of it, but it's more than matched by just by a happy manic look and some flickering deep in that those eyes of his that is not indicative of a healthy mind.
Fair
Some good old religious fervor.
About Fish?
Oh, Fish walks over and looks at the floor and says, "So who is going to clean this up?"
Yeah. Chunk will say like, I think we're gonna need a lot of bleach for
You're
that.
gonna need a lot of bleach. That's what the leech has to say. Obviously, good job. So yeah, there are other adepts.
To be in her place.
Ooh. Yeah, so the other adepts scurry in and seem generally not horribly taken aback by it. It's just another job to them. It's not like they weren't, the one of their number wasn't freaking drowning in front of them or something like that. It's,
Oh yeah.
they're pretty hardened to this whole, high level cultist experience now. The cultist experience. It's not the girlfriend experience. It's the cultist experience.
Oh, that's right. We did do that.
So yeah,
Mm.
cool. So what you guys doing? What's your plan? What you thinking? What are you talking about? Talk between each other.
So, what do we know of Lady Evangeline?
You know that
Besides her being kind of wealthy-ish,
she is definitely wealthy. I want to say she lives. I'm not sure if we established. I think she lives in the Brightstone district.
Okay.
I think you've been to her place once, and I think that was actually where you were like originally kind of got your charter, if you will. But it's like very similar to the guy who just framed. It's kind of like a row house, again, a very well-to-do type place. There is a little more land around it. Unlike that one where it was kind of sandwiched between the next house, and so on, like a brownstone. She has a little bit more of land. There's like a courtyard surrounding the house, a wall around it, and then like like you have your guard shack at the front where her bodyguard type folks who meet anyone and note the passings and stop people from coming in or soliciting or what have you.
Yeah, it may be good if you put it in like 6 towers because there's a lot of old abandoned manors and houses there.
Sure. 6 towers works fine for me. Cool. So yeah, that's basically it. It's well maintained. She has money. The money is continuing to come in, obviously, and she pays you guys well for your services. But again, it's like if you had to guess, it would be like, where she want? I mean, the goddess doesn't have to explain herself, but did she just like have other people do too much and herself do too little? You know, some of you have to be wondering what the hell she did, but there is probably no answer. God, it doesn't have to have reasons that you would understand as mere mortals with mortal minds, etc., etc. So yeah, like you've probably all been there the one time, but otherwise everything is conducted remotely via the former adepts and dead drops and other kind of meetings between go-betweens and stuff like that. It really wouldn't suit her to have such close connections to, I mean, open cultists / scoundrels. It would probably hurt her reputation. It's not generally a good thing for people of wealth to be associated with weird ass cults, but a good number of them probably are.
I see.
Cool. So what do you do? Talk it out. Talk it out.
So, are we just to assassinate this woman?
No. We were told we were to
Yeah.
sacrifice her.
No.
I have to mute myself here. Okay.
At the very least, she needs to be drowned.
All right, cool. Go, continue, please. Talk it out. Talk it out.
We need to find out what she does, where she goes, where we can take her.
Yeah, so it looks like a promotion through murder, I guess.
Just like the real world.
Klingon promotion. There we go.
Yep.
Oh, quick, this is out of character. Did Shana say she must be sacrificed, or what was the wording specifically?
Yeah, it said just
It said sacrifice her.
Yeah, she
Perfect.
must be sacrificed.
Now back in character. Yes.
Does this bother you, Junker? Are you not willing to go to any length for Shanas?
Oh no.
Yeah, she'll just raise an eyebrow. It'd be a lot easier to shoot her. I mean,
Always a pragmatic one.
Yes. But there are times when pragmatism must give way. Sometimes the easiest path is not the correct path to properly show our devotion to Shanas. We must do this, and this must be done perfectly.
Fish is standing there with a painting of his maybe or their maybe mother under his eye, and says, "Well, it's your job. Figure it out. Let me know what you want to do."
Well, Ramira, you are the ritualist. Do you think we should simply use the drowned man, or does this call for something new?
Like, the drowned man is certainly fitting, but maybe Junker has a point. Maybe she needs to be weakened, for surely she knows the same ritual. We might need to make sure that she's contained.
she likely has arcane protections on her house also that would probably not be penetrated by such rituals.
Probably not.
More reason to find a way and get her out.
Like
What
I
do you
said, it's your plan, but we've got the reassembled effigy of Shanaz. That ought to give us something.
Excellent point.
Like,
Oh, which is a segue.
I was going to say, what have we learned?
Yeah, wait a second. That's right. We didn't really look at that too much because then things happened.
A segue, just as a quick note, we still haven't picked the advance, the crew advance. And I know the one you guys were talking about would be probably helpful here. Let's see.
So this is kind of a flashback to advancement pick.
Let's see here. So you guys are talking about glory incarnate. Your deity sometimes manifests in the physical world. This can be a great boon, but its priorities and values of a god are not those of mortals. You have been warned.
While I think that fits, I'm certainly going to have to vote against it. I may be outvoted in this case, but yeah.
But no, I don't want to deal with the spoopy god who probably knows that I'm not a full true believer.
All right. Do you guys want to go with that, or do you guys want a different advance?
I mean, I would be open to either that one or zealotry. You know, I think both are kind of fitting for the fiction that we've developed here.
Where we are in our time as a cult.
Gotcha. Because I think your choice here will definitely affect whatever your plan is.
Absolutely.
So I'll put that out there.
I don't know. I don't know that anybody is really abandoning their reason to devote themselves to the cult in a zealotry sort of way.
Okay.
So
well, it refers to the cohorts, your adepts and your thugs.
Oh, the cohorts.
Yes. Now our cohorts are totally devoted to the cult. There is nothing they will not do.
Oh, so the reason they're there is gone. They're just like
the reason they're there is now the cult is the entire reason.
Sure. Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, I know there was some talk about glory incarnate in the Discord, but I don't have any strong conviction one way or the other. I've got my maybe mother under my arm. That's all I care about.
Right.
All right. Well, why don't you?
I vote for glory incarnate because I just want to see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah, it is kind of intriguing. Yeah.
You are giving Breaker the option to see his god manifest itself physically in the world. Yeah, Breaker's probably going to choose that one.
Yeah, I'd say sure. I mean, again, it's the last session.
Yeah, why not?
Let's go.
Zealotry will be something that happens if we all survive in the afterwards.
Yeah.
The time beyond this.
And one of the things leading up to this that I kind of foreshadowed, but were you to choose this, is that one of the things that Adams told you is that if you did assemble the 4 pieces, that you would be able to bring Shanaz into the world.
Yep. Well, let's do it then.
Right. Yes, let's do it. Foreshadowing is behind us. Nothing can go.
Foreshadowing is behind us.
Literally.
We cannot dodge the foreshadowing.
Yes. All right. So
that gun will not remain unfired. Glory on that wall. It needs to be fired.
Glory incarnate. It is.
All right.
All right, so that definitely affects your plan. Things just got a little bit more interesting. All right, so let's do this because I want to have some time at the end and whatnot. Let's kind of jump into things. First of all, let's do our gather information. I'm assuming you guys would like to do that.
Yeah.
Makes sense. This is probably going to be the toughest target yet. The head of a cult and a high priestess of a forgotten god.
Cool. All right, so let's do the usual team thing. I'd like everybody involved here in the last session. So like two teams. What do you want to find out, basically? What what things could two teams find out for you that's important to this?
I mean, I think we need to find out.
Just to be clear, you just mentioned that she's the leader of a cult, but it's the Shnas cult.
Yeah,
or is she?
it's our cult.
Yes.
Okay, all right. But she is. She has a separate sanctum, right, from ours.
Her home,
Yeah.
Her home is her sanctum, so to speak.
so to speak, you would assume.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay.
So my thought was we need to, kind of know her defenses and how she can, where she's weakest.
Yeah, my thought was that I would use Wreck to create like subtly sabotage her arcane wards or create some way for us to infiltrate into the building.
That would be cool.
Cool. So that sounds more like our setup
Yeah, our
role.
entrance or yeah.
Well, yeah, I would do something like that to like make the
That's the engagement,
encounter roll
I think.
better.
Yeah.
The encounter roll better. The engagement roll better.
Sure. So like what you could do is do some I'm just throwing out, just spitballing. I don't want to put actions in your mouth here. Some attune type stuff or some tinker
To find
stuff.
the words.
And if you had someone as a lookout or someone else who also attuned to kind of assist you.
I was wanting to use Wreck.
Oh, Rec specifically.
Yeah.
Oh, like maybe to test it. So you'd have to throw some stuff at it, basically. Throw some stuff at her defenses and see how they.
It's like we'll need to use a tune to even find the wards first. Maybe you could use Rec to mess with them after, but
yeah, it's carefully applied sabotage is something that Rec can do.
Gotcha. Oh, I see. So that, again, that's not so much gather information. That's like to mess with something, and that's either like a part of the. Again, I would almost call that part of the engagement role or a flashback type thing. But for now, we want to definitely gather info for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, but keep that. No, put in that because we're going to come back to that.
Yeah, that does look like. That sounds like a great fodder for a flashback or something like that.
I was gonna say, who wants to go with me, and I can find out where the wards are.
Any attuners?
I'm sure I can convince someone, that she should meet me.
I have an attune, but I would also make a great bodyguard.
I have two attunes.
And again, whoever's going with them would just be assisting, so it's not necessary that you have a great number of anything. You're there to assist.
All right.
So who Fish, do you want to
Yeah, either switch Fish it up? Or Breaker.
Yeah. Breaker, do you want to switch it up?
Hmm?
Do you want to switch it up and hang out with Peacock?
Sure.
Yeah, the two fanatics can go together.
Yeah, this will give you guys a little moment to loan. Cool.
There's great respect for Amira. He'd love to help. He'd love to go along with him.
So I'd like to bring Evo with me as well.
Excellent.
That's actually good. Yeah, that's a good touch.
But I think we need to, I think I can probably convince her to meet. And I could just convince her to meet at her place.
Oh, you mean Eva?
Yep. No. convince
the high
Lady
priestess.
Evangeline to meet her at her home,
Oh, I see. Okay.
and then I'll attune while I'm there to gather the information that we need.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So let's do that. So how and again, who wants to assist?
I will be assisting. I mean, because I'll be part accompanying him to this
Nice.
as
Excellent.
a bodyguard. And
Cool. And again, you guys are probably the two most fanatic,
we're the
show the
two
flag in front of the high priestess is a good thing.
Yeah, we're the two most like truest of true believers of the group of our little sect.
Okay. Cool. So let's kind of jump into a scene. Do you how are you going to do the get in there? What's your story, or you could meet her elsewhere, or entice her
so
to
I
meet
want to
you
meet her
elsewhere?
there because I want to see what her wards are.
Gotcha.
I think the story I'm giving her is that, we've managed to find. She doesn't know we have all four, does she?
Yes, she does, because
She does.
that's one of the things that she kind of reimbursed you for, if you will.
Then
she doesn't know that it's powerful at this time.
Yep.
Yeah. Or empowered is probably a better word.
She just knows we have the pieces, and that's about it.
Then I think I'll use the story that we've made a breakthrough with it, and we would like to, have a meeting of the, of us important, influential members, along with Eva, who has been training me, and discuss it with you.
Okay.
But it needs to be, in a. We think it should be somewhere safe and secure, and we think your place is probably the best for that.
Okay, sure. Let's. What do you want to do to accomplish that? What's your action?
Probably sway to convince her, because, I assume her probably, MO is, not to have, weirdos over to her house.
What? Sure. Yeah. I mean, and we could basically do one roll and call it the whole thing, the attuning, the getting in there, the attuning, or not, as the case may be. So go ahead and let's make a roll. You get the with Breaker there, kind of having your back and whatnot. That's definitely
kind of showing the roll the attune for actually checking the wards, or the sway to actually get on the property.
Let's do sway for it'll accomplish both. This will be your gain information roll will be the sway, which gets you in, which gets you the attune information.
Does this have a position then?
I will say, yeah.
There's still a risk of tipping our hand.
I'm going to say that I'll make it a risk only in the sense that this is you could there's a way you could tip your hand here.
Okay.
At least potentially. So I'm still going to call it controlled standard. That's kind of want to throw it out there, because she's been around for a while. She probably Evangeline likely didn't go through the ranks like you guys did, because she's rich. But she's been around the block here for a while in the cult, and you're not the first initiates that she's initiated, etc. So she's not stupid. So there's a chance to at least tip something here. So yeah, let's go ahead and make a roll and see what we find.
And I'm going to push myself as well.
Okay. Nice.
There it is.
Yeah, so she is over freaking enjoyed to hear from you. She knows of your past also, Peacock, and whereas you might not have money now, she appreciates that there's more to the experience of spending time with there's something about spending time with someone cultured, someone who has had the money, the etiquette, the etc. So just because you don't have money doesn't mean that you aren't an interesting conversation partner for her. And you've done well. The whole crew has done well. So she's only too happy to kind of hear from you. It's not alarming that there's a breaker. He'll of course be. You guys will basically once you walk in. However, you will note that you are frisked and all weapons are taken off you and that kind of good stuff.
I didn't
She
have any,
she
but-
trusts you, but the security does not and will never.
As good as any good security should.
Yeah. So yeah, the conversation goes excellent. She treats you to some fine brandy, and other goodies, little eel hors d'oeuvres and that kind of stuff. Kind of high end stuff here. Probably even a piece of a chicken breast cut up and marinated, just as like finger food off the side. And as you guys are talking, I'm assuming you're kind of opening your mind to the ghost field, so to speak, and
Yeah, I think I started
Eva's
extending
around.
my senses as we walk through the doors. So I wanted to, there could be, outer boundaries as well as inner boundaries.
Gotcha. I will note, since I'm going to kind of preempt one of your 3 questions, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
One of the things you've learned from this whole thing is that Eva couldn't get past the door to the actual manor house itself. She was warded.
Okay, so they have a ghost ward.
Makes sense.
She was able to get onto the grounds with you, kind of in the background, but you kind of felt that you've become such a partner of hers, if you will, that you kind of felt as you walked in, you felt her distance as you kept going, and she couldn't follow you.
Okay.
Maybe a little cry out into the ghost field.
Did I see any signs when she was, as a second question, did I see any signs that she was crossing that the barrier could be overwhelmed?
Yes. Yeah, so the house is, like I said, it's not tiny. It's not gargantuan. This is not a mansion. But it's certainly not tiny by any stretch. You get the feeling that yes, this absolutely can be overwhelmed. Do you have what it takes to do it? Probably.
Well, we have a wrecker, so
Yes.
And then third question, maybe based on observation of the surroundings once I'm there. Is there anything indicating that well, maybe we should think physical security too. What other guards and stuff do we see present besides the guardhouse?
Yeah, that'll be Breaker's input.
Yeah.
That'll essentially be like, he'll be looking at the guards, taking their measure. He
Yeah.
is the military man.
Yeah, he's the guy in like the movie where like they walk onto like the grounds of this compound, and but between the time when they walk in the gate and get to the main building, the guy's like, there's 24 guards. There are 4 doing rounds at 2-minute intervals. 3 of them are armed. 4 of them have long weapons, etc., etc.
One of them has a slight scar. It means he was a veteran in the Unity War, and the way he holds himself, he must have served in that unit.
Yeah, that kind of good shit. So yeah, so there are, again, you have the main guards at the main gate to the wall which leads into the courtyard. There are guards inside also. Again, she's very well off, and you have to assume that kidnap is always on somebody's mind. No,
Perish the thought.
perish the thought. So yes, but they are going to say there's another 4 or 5-ish guards inside. They don't have long weapons. They basically have swords. And Breaker's thought on that would be like, you with these walls are solid, like solid rock. This is not the cheap shit. the thought is likely, you don't want to shoot at anybody, because if it goes through them or misses, it could ricochet and kill the people you're trying to guard. Best just to use, hand weapon, and take care of things that way. They do seem well trained.
Yeah, that was the other thing. It was like, what's the how just based on their what he sees, what he observes, what kind of level of training or level of threat are these guys looking at?
Yeah, these are veterans. You would just have to say. I
Okay.
think that plays into the third question. So yeah, it's definitely answerable. Yeah, I mean, she kind of has a nice conversation with you. Peacock probably is barely listening at the point where he's kind of scanning everything with his ghost eyes, if you will. Breaker's kind of taking in everything. So neither of you really know what you talked about. It's, that small talk you do in the background just to kind of, again, do what you really were there for. So yeah. And about 45 minutes later, after some hors d'oeuvres, some like chats back and forth, you guys are escorted back out.
And I think, part of the parting words are, I would love the opportunity to show you the artifact in person.
Oh, she kind of, her eyes widen and pupils dilate. If she was in any less control, she may have salivated slightly.
Like, let us find a safe way for it to travel, and we'll get back to you.
Opportune time.
Excellent. Cool.
So sort of, foreshadowing a little bit of opportunity for us to come back.
Fair enough.
We can call back to in an incredibly ominous manner as once time allows.
Cool. All right. Yeah, you guys are escorted out, and what is Team Finker? Yeah, Team Finker or
There we go.
Josh. Team Jung. Josh.
Team. See.
Jish?
I don't know.
Let's see.
Junkish.
Well,
Junkish. There we go.
one idea I did have was you did say that one of my friends, clever friends, was that servant we found.
Yeah. Yep.
So
at the other household, yeah.
I was wondering if we could like track the movements of the servants in like deliveries of food and deliveries of various resources, and the servants coming and going, and just try to slip in Simone into the servants, or like try to get her hired to like scout out stuff for us.
Gotcha. So that's again, you keep bridging the gap into the flashback territory. This is just all we want to do here is find information. So if you want to kind of get an idea of where that kind of how the servants work, or
well, yeah, I can do like a hunt to like discover how the servants work.
Gotcha. Again, it pains me to push back on your enthusiasm and creativity, both you and Fish and everyone else, really. But I just want to make sure we kind of go with the mechanics. Again, right now this is just finding information. The stuff you're talking about is definitely flashback stuff, and that is really cool. So let's go with that. So let's see how the servants work.
Anything you wanted to do, Fish?
Oh, I was thinking along similar lines. Because basically what you're talking about is investigating the back entrance to this to this house rather than the front entrance, and seeing if there's any weak spots there. I could see Fish. Again, I don't know how what line this might be crossing. I was sort of imagining, Fish spotting a servant that just had something about them that gave Fish a feeling of rapport. And Fish approaches the servant to ask them to just sort of inquiry, what life is like working for this person.
Cool. Yeah, that's perfect. So how would Junker assist with that? To kind of be the wingman, wing lady, kind of making it, smoothing everything out that Fish is talking about, that kind of thing. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I could do that, I guess.
Okay. All right. So I just want to get you involved here. I just want to get you involved so bad. All right, everybody gets involved. So yeah, why don't you what are you what action are you gonna use to do this, Fish?
Looks like survey comes pretty close. Well, let me take a look at finesse. Finesse items. No, I would say survey, especially gather information about opportunities and exploits. Survey a location or situation to understand what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, I think there are other actions that would do better. So this will be you'll get. I will give you.
Could I do my
Type of limited.
hunt? Could I do my
Well, part of the reason I'm picking survey is because I got 2 dots. I have 2 dots in survey. I mean, I assume that makes
Well-
survey more useful than one that I don't have any dots in.
Right, and that's fine. I'm
Is
just
that
telling you
correct?
that the survey is not the best skill to use for this.
Okay.
Well,
So you'll
can I
have a
use
limited capability.
Could I use my hunt instead?
What are to? Well, I mean, if you aren't really hunting if you're interacting with the servants.
Well, I was just going to watch like he usually does.
Gotcha. All right. I mean, which
So are you looking at things like sway someone with charm, logic, or deception?
I think that would
Sort?
yeah. So here's the thing. You get to choose whatever action you want as long as you're actually doing it. And this
Sure.
is what you're describing is certainly could come under survey. You're kind of not so much talking to them as trying to get the feel of a situation, a place, that kind of thing. However, what the probably the best would be like a consort type of thing or a sway, that kind of thing. Just because you're trying to get information out of them. But which again, so basically that you get to choose the action, but I'll let you know if it's how effective it becomes, that kind of thing. So
Well, I guess again, a lot like what I think I don't quite grasp is the meaning of these dots we've been putting into these abilities. Does consort with no dots is that better actually than survey with 2 dots?
okay, so so if you have 0 dots in something, you roll 2 dice and then take the lowest result of the 2. So that's you can push yourself, however, and get 1 dot for all intents and purposes. So you push yourself, you have 1 dot.
But I
so
still have to take the lowest then of.
no, you
Well,
if
then
you
I
then you
wouldn't
have
to
a
take the
die to
lowest.
roll if you push yourself
Okay.
immediately, right?
Just 1 die. Okay.
So what I'm talking about, however, is I'm going to, because like for example, in my mind, survey is not the best skill for this. So whereas if you roll, you're going to get a limited result as opposed to a standard. Whereas if you roll, push yourself with consort and roll 1 die, you'll get a standard type result.
Okay. Would Daredevil come into this when you roll a desperate action? Would that
No, it's because it's not desperate. It's not desperate at all.
Okay. All right.
So that's kind of where that's going. So it's a matter of balancing how much you want to roll and how great an outcome you want to have.
Okay.
How profitable an outcome, if you will.
Well, I'm looking now at maybe consort. I'm kind of interested in that. Consort with connections from your heritage. Can I add a bit to the person that Fish spots in that they seem to be exhibiting a certain property that isn't quite human? That
You can certainly do that. Again, we're
Yeah.
and I totally understand what you're getting. You're looking for kind of a boost. But I mean, if you use
Well,
consort,
yeah.
that's cool. Basically, the whole who you how to say, just based on like your having a background of similar to someone else doesn't necessarily get it to like a higher degree of result, if you will. I hope I'm phrasing that right. So basically, what I'm going to say is use whatever action you want, but we got to go with it, and then we'll find
Okay.
out. We'll find out what the
Well,
result is from there.
all right. Let's do consort, and I'll push myself.
Okay.
All
So
right.
it'll
So
be
I
a
just
controlled standard. And
okay.
Junker, how are you assisting in this sense?
Let's see. Well, I got a dotting consort.
Okay. So yeah, you're kind of greasing the wheels with him, adding a little witty repartee in the background. Kind of, maybe maybe you're keeping the drinks and sandwiches coming at the place you're hanging out for the getting some food and drink in the contact as Fish is kind of using his suave debonair nature to kind of talk some information out of them. All right.
Swab. Yeah, it's a swab nature.
All right, so go ahead and do a controlled standard effect.
Okay.
And you already push yourself, so roll 1 die. And you have actually roll with 2 dice. But basically you have 1 die, and then you got the assist from Junker, so 2. You're basically rolling 2 dice.
Okay. Now, I got to add some stress for this, right?
That's correct. 2 stress for your push.
Okay. And consort. Sorry. Position is what?
Controlled standard.
Controlled. It is standard already. Okay. And no bonus die, right? Just the 0?
No, two bonus die.
Two bonus die? Oh, wow. Rolling the die.
You're killing me. You're killing me, Doctor. You're killing me, Dad. You got a 5. Awesome.
Okay.
All right. So for that, I will give you and Junker get 2 questions. Things go well. You kind of again, you probably kind of do what I think you've done maybe once before. You kind of get into conversation just outside the manor, with some servant, either treat him, at the local cafe, or, oh, you dropped this. Mind if I walk with you and carry it with you? That kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay, so
How about each of you asks 1 question from this interaction?
all right. This place, I'm surprised how there seems to be a lot of work being put into making this place secure. There are all these guards, but when the guards are off duty or when they're kind of just waiting in reserve, do they have like a hangout place in the building somewhere?
Oh, yes, certainly. It's actually in the back of the building by the kitchen. Hungry men after a hungry day like to get a little something extra from the kitchen, that kind of thing. So you generally find they keep a table there for any guards that are kind of off duty or just in between rounds or whatever. So yeah, the kitchen area in the back of the house is that place.
Okay.
All right, Junker, what are you looking to get out of this?
Let's see. She's just let me think. She's mostly just looking about like the schedule for the servants and like when food is delivered and when like resources is delivered and stuff so that when it comes time for them to try to infiltrate the place, they could pass themselves off as servants.
Gotcha. It seems that like there are kind of two separate crews of servants, a daytime and a evening servant group. Basically, they're then and each group of servants is in charge of the cleaning, the cooking, the general upkeep of the place, that kind of thing. There's about as many servants as there are internal guards. There's about 6 of them for each shift. And they do change just around. But I don't even remember the way in which the Duskfall people keep time, but the general equivalent of like early afternoon, like a 2 o'clock type of thing. Probably 2 o'clock, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 different shifts.
All right.
Cool. All right. Anybody else have anything, or should we start looking at putting together an engagement? What think you?
Engagement. I think that we could do that.
Cool. All right. So let's look at things. So I'm very happy that we've done literally all of the engagement types. Very cool. And I just want to note that it would have been hard to do this with many of the other groups, other crews. It's kind of cool how you guys have the ability to kind of get around a little everywhere. But so we have the assault, do violence to a target. That sounds potential. Deception, lure, trick, manipulate. Stealth, trespass unseen. Occult, engage a supernatural power. Social, negotiate, bargain, or persuade. Or transport, carry cargo people through danger. So off the top of your head, what's looking good for like an engagement type of setup situation for you guys?
Well, okay, Peacock, what's what you want to do is it's not subtle, right? I mean, this is this is going to be
I mean, I
kind
wouldn't
of a
say that.
bombastic assassination, as
Well,
the
kidnapping.
impression I have. A kidnapping?
I mean,
Yeah, we have to sacrifice her properly.
ideally,
Yes.
I would like to sacrifice her somewhere, other than her home. But anyone can drown in a bathtub. So
But how many people can drown in the front parlor?
or the town square, or wherever
Yeah.
we decide to do this. So there's nothing saying that we couldn't kill her here.
Okay.
After all, she's a cultist. I'm pretty sure she might have the right equipment already.
Oh yeah, she probably has a sanctum.
Funny.
Sacrifice her in her own sanctum. No, it fits actually. The old power taking over the new.
Assault is not out of the
It was
question,
always
provided that we can make sure she doesn't escape.
I'm intrigued by the thought of her having her own sanctum. I want to ask different questions now. I mean, does her sanctum have access to the sea like ours does?
Who can say?
Down in the bowels of her sub basement?
Canals.
Yeah.
Cool. So what everyone else thinking? What are you thinking? What are you looking at? No pressure.
Well, I guess the main question is, do you want to try to kidnap her stealthily, or do you want to just do a smash and grab?
Or a smash and smash, or whatever.
I mean, that's a good question.
Yeah.
You know, because that determines whether it's, you know, whether we're doing a stealth or whether we're really doing, you know, some combination of assault and transport. You know, probably more the assault, because really once we've, you know, kind of removed everything, then it's easy to, you know, just cart her body off somewhere. But, you know, stealth is an option. You know, we certainly have the skills for it.
Well, one thing that might help with the decision is those artifacts we got.
And your
In what
and your
way?
new crew ability.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep imagining you basically trying to like summon Shinos right in her house.
I'm not saying that it's not going to happen,
Not saying it won't happen, but
but I mean, obviously, we then need to get into the house.
It's not the plan.
well, then again, Glory Incarnate does say your deity sometimes manifests. It does not say when or how or who decides this. The deity can just decide to show up. We have essentially opened the door by accepting that special ability.
Yeah, that's pretty much how that works. I did read that it wasn't like you can summon her. No.
No, 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 no.
She shows up.
She shows up.
I will say that because you went through the trouble of putting this artifact together, you can knock at the door and request a presence. That kind of thing.
No.
You can't demand, you can't
Okay.
summon,
Yeah.
but you
All right.
can maybe, you know,
Ask politely.
ask politely
Yeah.
if they have sugar that you could borrow.
What's what value is let's see if I get the name right. Eva, who was not able to get past the wards. What value would she be if she could get past the wards?
I mean, she probably knows the inner workings of a sanctum better than we do.
Yeah, if
You know,
there's
in
anyone
general.
who could,
And she
There's
is
any-
made out of ectoplasm.
if there's
Part
anyone
of-
who could lead
Part
us
of
to
wondering
sanctum.
was,
Does
Yeah.
she require? Does she have to follow you? Could we bring her in the back way?
Could we wait?
yeah, she's
Could
not
we-
exactly physically tied to me, so she
Okay.
could go in a different way.
Could we smuggle her in?
Still has to get past the ghost ward.
Well, that's the thing. The ghost ward would stop a ghost, but would it detect a ghost sealed in a bottle?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You could probably
Ah.
get her in a bottle.
The other reason I asked the one question was, given Junker's ability to attract a lot of spirits somewhere, that was the question of whether the spirit ward could be overwhelmed. You could basically wreck the ward
Ooh, neat.
by attracting ghosts to it in such a number that they batter the defenses down.
Now that would be a freaking awesome what do you call it?
Final special effects budget.
That exactly. Blow the special effects budget, everything we got. No,
Yeah.
that'd be
Ghost Army, go.
that would be an excellent engagement role.
Because we could basically convince, a cohort of ghosts to run amok.
Leading a cohort of ghosts in the that's a great way to open up a battle scene.
While we try and take care of Evangeline ourselves.
Well, shoot, that actually worked. They come in and assault the front, and then we slip in through the back through the kitchen and start cleaning house, starting with the guards who are off duty.
Yeah, they could essentially be the distraction with Junker's aid.
Yeah, so
I was also thinking if Fish asking Junker if she could build a bomb that I just got a message saying for the roll 20 that my connection to the server has been interrupted.
Oh, that's weird. You're still
I got
coming
that
through.
as well, actually. But yeah,
Okay.
I
And
also
sorry, that
but it's not.
completely blew my train of thought.
No, oh no.
But
Yeah.
you know that if Junker could build a bomb, that fish could sneak in and start off dealing with the guards in the restroom by essentially blowing it up and potentially blowing a hole in the floor down to the sanctum at the same time as a bonus.
Okay. So
Mm.
again, this
don't-
comes under a flashback type of situation.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to be.
Well, I don't know if it's a
It should-
flashback yet. We're just in the planning stage.
Well,
Well,
again,
it's
we
yeah,
want
I
to.
know
is
we
it-
need
Most
to choose
planning
our
happens
score
in
type and
flashbacks,
the
things
method,
like that.
the approach.
Oh, okay.
So there's also a question of
Whatever.
how.
It doesn't matter.
well, yeah.
I guess that does bring up one question: how loud do we want to be going with this? Because it's like, I mean, swords and hand-to-hand combat. That's one. Even with guys shouting, it's only so far that's gonna carry. Explosions are a great deal, and gunshots are a great deal louder.
Yeah, it's the final chapter, man. We
Well,
got
because
ghosts swarming. We got ghosts swarming the front, and a bomb blowing up the guards in reserve in the back. You
So-
know, I mean, I could. You
Yeah,
know, maybe
so
the whole
it's-
building will collapse.
So
How
what
cool
I'm
would
hearing,
that be?
what I'm hearing is we want to do an assault.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm hearing. Yeah.
All right. So let's
Yeah,
make this
It's
interesting.
been a while since we've done a straight up assault.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
okay.
true.
So
Yeah, we've only ever done one. That was the showdown in the street.
that's true. Let's see here. So let's do this.
And that ended up being a goat cart chase, right?
Oh yeah,
That
we
was-
did do that. That was pretty wild. That was technically a
Transport.
Oh,
transport.
transport. Okay, okay.
It was an aggressive transportation.
Sorry, Scott, we're not listening to you.
No, that's fine. I
You
want
keep
you guys
trying
to talk
you
it
keep
out.
trying to do your job. And not listen.
We have better things to do.
exactly. I'm down with that. No, I absolutely want you guys to talk. I'm just what I want to put out there is we can do like, we can just because this is again final session. We could do. I'm willing to do 2 separate engagement roles. One team going in the front, one team going in the back, and see where the dice take us.
Okay.
Since it seems like you guys both have divergent plans that are kind of converging. But but it sounds like they would be leaving you in, like, again, they could potentially leave you in different positions. So I kind of want to reflect that. So if you guys want to do,
It also kind of has the potential of, like, you know, one of those plans not working out so well could be balanced out by the other one working out,
exactly, yeah,
assuming that one of them does,
cool.
or hoping that one of them does.
That is the hope. So do you guys want to do that, or do you guys want to do like one engagement roll and kind of like go from there? What are your thoughts?
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and blow the whole special effects budget. Go all out.
So the back
Oh
is
yeah, yep.
the back is focused on the guards, correct?
It
And the
sounds like
front
it.
attack is focused on basically breaching the defenses and causing havoc.
The ghost defenses and the overwhelming the any
that about
wards
sum
and
it up?
causing. Yeah, that does sound great.
Yeah.
So let's see here. So let's see. They could both be considered assaults for all intents and purposes.
I guess. I feel like the first. I guess the frontal assault could be also considered a cult, since the arcane power is the ghosts.
True. Okay. Assault in
Or
the front, assault in the rear,
Could be. They could both be assaults
or stealth.
I could see it. Yeah. It's transport.
Yeah, we can't. I don't think we can fit transport in here in this part of the planet.
We're transporting all the ghosts inside.
Funny. All right, so who's team front? Who's team back?
I think we're looking at. I don't remember everybody's name. We're looking at Breaker and Fish going in the back because Junker, you need to be in the front to be the one who, as I understand it, who rallies the ghost.
Yeah,
Is
and,
that correct?
and
And
Ramira
wrecking
can, yeah, Peacock can definitely be there to kind of
I'll distract.
voice.
yeah, distract and coordinate. Yours,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, maybe you could set up some kind of ritual to like direct the ghost.
Well, I mean, we kind of need to get past the front door. I think that's going to be more of my focus.
Oh,
Okay.
and what about Ava? Ava in a bottle?
Well, we're not going to need that because we're going to literally break down the front ward.
Oh, so then, well, maybe could we
And then
maybe
they're
put
all
her
going to go in.
put her in a bottle in case the wards don't quite fall
I
as
mean,
early
one
as we want.
one potential could be break down the front door and send Ava in a bottle in with the secondary group.
Yeah, well, the way I imagine is I'll set up
Toss
a
her in
ghost.
like a Molotov cocktail.
I'll
Ah!
set up a ghost ward, and then Peacock can kind of like do a ritual to like control the ghost and like have them attack and do something.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to attract them. I'm going to convince them what to do.
Well, he has. Yeah,
Yeah.
he can talk to ghosts.
But the two of us still need to get past the front door.
Yeah.
Well, what I'd like to do is for that is assume you got past the front door, and the
Okay.
engagement roll will actually be when you're like
If
you
we're
just
being pursued or not.
no, it's basically, yeah, it's like
You have gone
Junker
through the front door,
throws
now what?
down her electroplasm charges or whatever the hell, and hell breaks loose in good way or bad way. That's gonna
Okay.
be the scene we jump in on.
I'm great for that.
And then for the back, it'll be the same. You'll get the engagement roll will happen the second you walk into that kitchen area from the back door. So, do you guys want to take a slightly early break, and we'll kind of
Yeah,
get
I
into
think it's probably
business?
best before we roll the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, you know
sounds
what?
good.
Yeah. So before I forget, just so I can say I did it, we're gonna do the intro movie, which I totally forgot again because I was so excited. That's last episode. You got to do the intro. So here we go. All right, now that we've done the intro movie, finally, yeah, let's take a break. See you guys in 10, and when we come back, we'll do engagement rolls and see what kind of hell breaks loose. Literally.
All right.
All right, see you in 10, guys.
Sounds
See you in
good.
10.
Alrighty, so here we are, ready to do our engagement rolls. So let's start with the front group first. Let's see here. So basically, yeah. So go ahead and let's. Who wants to do the engagement roll? The two of you guys.
Junker, you.
Engagement roll.
Yep.
Sure.
All right, so let's figure out what that engagement roll is real quick. And actually, what's your loadouts, boys and girls? Do that real quick too while I'm thinking about it.
Ah, okay.
Well, we're doing an assault, a heavy. We're not sneaking.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Ooh,
I
fish
might as
going
well
heavy.
go in heavy. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I mean, this means I might have to actually go in as normal.
I
I don't even have enough stuff that I can use heavy.
he's like strapping like frying pans
I mean, I
to
guess I
himself.
could if I used like heavy armor or something.
There you
but
go. Heavy armor.
Normal seems good.
Okay.
I'm a strapping gentleman as it is, so.
How about Breaker? What's Breaker going?
Heavy.
All right. Okay, so let's figure out the engagement roll for the front. So let's see. So 1 for luck. Let's see here. So is this operation particularly bold or daring? I'm gonna say hell yeah. That's +1. I don't think it's overly complex. I mean, it literally is basically
Use the ghost, batter down front door.
pretty much. It's pretty cut and dry. Does the plan still expose vulnerability to the target or hit them where they're weakest? I will say
I don't think
no,
so.
because that's her.
But it might be a place where she's pretty strong, though.
Yeah, actually. Let's. I'm gonna remove a die for that because it is again. This is her home where she does feel most protected, etc. Can your friends or contacts provide insight?
I think Ava, since she is a ghost,
Yeah.
she might have some insight on breaking down wards.
Yep. Okay. Ava works. So that's 2.
As well as a few friends she might have made to join us.
Gotcha. Let's see here. I'm going to give you other elements. I'm going to give you one more because we are looking at one way or another. There's going to be a whole bunch of ghosts.
You completely muted out on that for me.
Oh, sorry. So I'm going to give you 1 extra die also because there's going to be one way or another. There's going to be a whole lot of ghosts.
Okay.
So yeah. So let's do that. So 3 dice. Unless anyone has anything else to add.
Nope.
Nope.
I'm able to go with it.
3 dice engagement.
3 dice
Cross
engagement.
our fingers.
Cross your fingers.
No whammy. That shows my age. Nothing else.
Yeah, I know. I too know what a whammy is. Oh my gosh!
Hey,
Nice.
Coming through in the clutch.
Going through in a clutch. So let's just for dramatic purposes, let's hold that, and now let's go to the rear engagement roll.
Okay.
All right. So so the rear engagement roll. Is this particularly bold or daring? First you got the 1, of course.
Let's say, yeah. We are kicking down a door and we are assaulting a well-equipped enemy force in broad daylight.
Okay. So I got that +1. Does it expose a vulnerability to the target? Hit them where they're weakest. That's a good question. I mean, your goal is basically hit
Take
them
by surprise, because it's like we're coming in from the kitchen. The guards that are going to be primarily there are going to be off duty. They're going to be relaxed, not going to be ready.
So I'm going to say it does expose a vulnerability. However, this is still, again, I'm going to take the same die away for this is where she's strongest. So that'll kind of cancel each other out there. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight? And I think one of yours did, Junker.
Maybe where's where I could use Simone, the servant.
Yeah, the maid. Yeah, the servant.
Okay. Cool. All right. So that's 1. And let's see here. That's all I can think to add. So 3 for you guys.
So it'll be me, Fish, and a small gang of cutthroats. I think I like these odds.
All right. Who wants to roll the engagement?
Can we bring our what are the acolytes along for the fun?
They can probably come in the rear guard.
Yeah, they'll come in after the fight.
They could maybe help us at the front, set up some kind of ritual thing.
Ah.
That is magical, yeah. Actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, this is the finale, so you should probably be throwing all the stops at this.
Yes. All right. So who's going to do the engagement roll of 3 dice?
I'm going to be leading this assault, so I will do it. Let's us all cross our fingers. So that's 1 for luck, 1 for bold, and then everything cancels out, right?
The strong and the weak cancel out, and then plus
and then
one
and then
for
Simone.
the first one. Yes.
Yes, so 3 total. Yeah!
All right.
All right.
Wow.
God, I love those 6s.
All right. So let's put this together.
Textbook.
So Junker, remind me what you're using to attract the ghost. What is that thing you're using?
I'm using the ghost word ability. I will this and the way I'm thinking it looks like in this moment is it's basically an engine that runs off like unrefined demon blood that makes this the most unearthly god awful howl you have ever heard.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Okay. All right. So in this singular moment, though you don't have swatches to synchronize, in this same exact moment, no one else wants those swatches except probably Dr. Arclary and Steve. But yes, so you can't synchronize your watches. But at the same time, there
We can do it on the
is.
tolling of a bell.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So there is the engine goes off. There's this howl, this flicker of electroplasm electricity. It doesn't take long. Basically you suddenly see these ghostly figures swoop in from like all sides. There's electroplasm that's hitting the side of the building and running up to like what would be like a lightning rod, and actually zipping straight up off of it. The energy is so strong coming into it as these ghosts swoop in. The door gets kicked in, just demolished. Pretty much, a shoulder ends the life of this poor heavy oak door. And before you know it, basically you guys are in. Fish is already, basically pureed the kidneys of one of the guys as he comes in, and just Brager just bowls in everyone else there. Before you know it, the entire guard cadre that's off duty here is unconscious, bleeding, dead, or groaning, and the front is just lightning chaos as basically the ward, you actually see the ward disintegrate before your eyes. It looks almost like this, like if you can imagine, like as this lightning is arcing up it, this like gelatinous housing almost around the house that shimmers and suddenly just drops into nothingness, into the ether, if you will. What do you do? Obviously, you're taking an assload of heat for this. This is more heat than a crew has taken in recent days, but that's okay.
We haven't taken heat like this since a couple weeks ago when we had a goat gunfight in the broad daylight.
Except there's no broad daylight.
Except there's no
broad
broad daylight.
daylight.
In the broad moonlight.
Yes.
Except
Right.
that the moon isn't bright either.
Broad mist light. There we go.
Broad mist light.
What do you want to do first, front or back?
What do you guys want to do? Who's inspired right now?
I would like to. I'm not very good at command. That's probably not the best action.
I mean, you could convince them, sway them to your side with logic.
You could just do like an attune.
Or that.
Well, I can sway with ghosts, so I would like to convince the assembled that everyone in the house that's not wearing this, mark, is free for the taking.
All right. Yeah.
Basically us and her, assuming she has it.
Gotcha. Cool. So let's make a roll. You said you're using sway.
So I'm also asking them not to kill us.
There is that. that was
now that they're here,
Yeah, please don't murder us.
Please don't murder us.
All right.
Just these are the ghosts that you're
Yes, these are the ghosts we
Okay.
attracted to break down the
Okay.
barriers.
Yep.
So I would normally say this was a limited, but you have your special sway
Yeah,
ability,
potency.
your potency. So I'm definitely gonna call that standard.
Okay.
So we're boosting that up. So that's cool.
What's the position?
I'm gonna say risky. We're not to the point where we're calling it desperate yet, but you're
Okay.
This is like the first action. Shouldn't it be controlled?
No, because they're still a pack of ghosts. They're not friendly.
Like
No, I
usually
mean,
the first
yeah.
roll you do. Yeah, the first roll you do after an engagement roll is usually determined by what you get in the engagement roll.
Right. I more put it in the framed it as like you're in a controlled situation. It didn't completely hit the fan. But let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do controlled for each. So yeah, do
Okay.
controlled standard for your roll. Good call. Thank you.
Makes sense because we've done very well with magic and whatnot, so they might be
That's
more amenable.
And
did you want to do anything? You want to push yourself?
Pick a devil's bargain.
Yeah.
what would a devil's bargain be in this case?
Oh wow. Let's see here. I will say that you lose Eva's connection if you to get an extra die.
I would
At
definitely
least
not
for
do
now.
that. Yeah, I don't want to lose her assistance.
That's too useful.
So I'll push myself.
Okay.
Especially if we can use her to find where her sanctum is, because I love the dramatic irony of sacrificing her in her own sanctum with our acolytes helping.
Let's see how this goes.
Ooh.
Jesus. Good rolls.
Looks pretty good.
Shanas is truly on our side on this one.
So there Eva is kind of trying to she's basically like acting as your spokesman, if you will, spokeswoman in this case. Spokes entity. And she's basically superimposed herself between you two, you and Junker, you and Breaker, and the assembled pack that is, yeah. And what is a collection of ghosts? A howling of ghosts? I don't know. But so most of them have already gone inside. A haunting of ghosts.
There we go.
So a good portion of them have already gone inside. Some are, again, they were ready to pounce on you before they kind of heard you and saw that Eva was superimposed between the two of you, the two groups. And they're like, we will take their life force, but stay around too long, and you're a nice morsel too.
Sounds like someone might have some ghost to punch. Ghost tries to eat me, I just grab it, but I start choking it. What?
Nah.
Punching it repeatedly.
I give them a nod and let them go in.
Yeah, they're the electroplasm. This is more than you've ever seen assembled before in your lives. And again, to kind of put it in perspective, like literally everyone in Duskfall has had some kind of ghost experience. They've turned a corner and a repeater's been going by, or they've been attacked or something. Literally everybody in their adult lives. So it's like not unheard of to just have a ghost around. But this is like a cadre of ghosts. They just got invited in basically for all intents and purposes. So yeah, they start cruising on in and destroying people. You see that he hits the first guard. The guard puts up his sword, and Ghost touches it, and it acts as like a lightning rod, and starts basically fries his hand. He drops his sword. The thing engulfs him and sucks him dry of life force. Meanwhile, in the back, what are you guys doing? Breaker and Fish
And cohort.
and Cohort.
What was? Oh,
we're looking for the way into the sanctum, and Fish being kind of what do I want to say? Sort of keying into the obsessed part of Fish's trauma. Fish has been cradling this bomb that they got from Junker, and just wants to throw it at the floor and see what gets exposed.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
So let's
Someone's
do.
gonna get 2 XP for trauma caused issues on this.
Yes. So let's do a quick flashback scene to when you're talking to Junker about this.
Oh.
So it's gonna be
Okay.
it'll cost you 1 stress to do this,
Oh, just to talk to Junker?
just to have this
Uh,
bomb,
Well, get the
basically.
bomb.
Okay, I got stress to burn.
All right. So let's do a very quick scene. You come to Junker.
Yeah. Hey, Junker. You're. I like this. Yeah, I like the weapons and devices you build, and I think just to cover our options, it would be really nice if I had a bomb to carry in the back. Any chance? Any chance you could put one together?
I can. Do you have any idea where you need to place it, or what sort of yield you're looking for?
I'm I'm looking for something that's gonna blow up real good, and and a shaped charge might actually be handy.
Big
Uh,
bada boom.
I can give you a grenade, but if you want to actually have a bomb, I can maybe give you something with a timer.
Short time, yeah. If you could
Just a
give
few
me a
seconds.
shaped charge that I could, put somewhere. It doesn't have to be a long timer. I just need like, couple 2 or 3 seconds to get away from it.
Yeah, Junker, you could totally make such a thing easily.
All right.
Cool. All right. So
Maybe it was sticky so that it would stick to whatever I wanted to blow out.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know that they have like C4 and like dust ball.
they have explodey stuff for certain.
Yeah, they've got the equivalent.
Probably
I'm
more like
sure.
sticks of dynamite or something.
Sure. Cool. So yeah, Junker easily puts such a thing together. In fact, I'm sure she relishes the idea of making explodey, blowy, reduced to rubbly type of contraptions.
Yeah, the timer could be a fuse then, of course, too.
Even better. All right, you have a bomb as long as Junker is good with it.
All right.
Cool. All right, you have your bomb.
Bomb will travel.
All right.
What are you doing?
I'm Fish. As Fish was helping to slaughter people, they're as usual trying to do it without being noticed. And Fish is working their way into the kitchen, and notices a certain break in the rhythm of the floorboard that looks suspicious, like a well concealed cupboard, and
Sure.
decides that looks like a handy place to put this bomb. And looks around quick to see there's in fact the entrance to where all of the guards have or perhaps still are being slaughtered is just a few steps away, and it's a pretty solid wall, so Fish figures that might be a good place to get to.
Okay. Well, let's do this. Give me 2 fortune dice. Roll 2 fortune dice. This will both tell the result here will tell us, 1, give us a feeling of, 1, did you find a good place, and 2, how well did that bomb work? Let's find out.
So do I have to roll twice or just roll?
You rolled.
Fortune?
You rolled. Do a fortune roll.
Okay.
And just select roll 2 dice.
2 dice. Okay. says notes, input value notes.
If you want to call it something, that kind of thing. Bomb.
Okay.
Fives. That's nice. All right. So I'm gonna say that. So you put this thing on the wall, and boom. The
On the
seconds
floor.
later, it's like he probably knowing Fish, he didn't freaking even tell anybody about this, not even Breaker. And
Yeah,
suddenly,
you see him cradle this bomb. I am like, was he doing? What is that? Why is he gotta like having my guys be well away from whatever this madman is
Yeah.
doing with that bomb?
well, yeah, well
I just got to clarify, it's on the floor, not on a wall.
okay, yeah. So he basically affixes it to the floor. You know, Fish is always very calm and kind of calculating
Yeah.
about this kind of thing. Puts the bomb down, or the item down, shall we call it? Turns a little crank or something, which lights a fuse inside. He casually steps away. He has the whole 3 seconds, and boom, 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 boom. The stone wooden floor opens up. One of the cohort is immediately
This is what I
killed.
want. Sorry, it blows up and also blows the baking flour.
Yeah, the
into
baking
air,
flour and all that's all over the place.
And that sets off a secondary explosion.
Well, one of the
Sorry, I didn't.
No,
I
please,
just
please.
thought it was a great image.
No, absolutely. That's perfect. That's perfect. So yeah, this all happens. The cohort, you hear screams from your own cohort. It's like, ah! One is actually killed by the blast. A piece of wooden shrapnel flies and catches him straight in the chest. And he just like collapses over, like just look at his face like, but Breaker told me if I trusted my training I would survive. You know, it's like kind of like look in his eyes as he
If you're
quickly
gonna throw
fades.
harm at my cohort, we have armor, sir.
Not anymore. Not this guy. He's dead. He's absolutely dead.
Well, my cohort does have protections like a player does.
Right. But I'm saying that this specific cohort was breached by this shrapnel. It was more than that could take. So you lose a cohort. But yes, the others were safely protected. I won't require you to expend any armor on their behalf. But the partial success is one of them gets hurt, murdered. Yeah. So you open up the floor a decent bit. Again, this is not a huge bomb, and there was some stone in the way, but you definitely see you've opened up enough where there is a place below with some candlelight. That it looks again. If you get a peek in, it looks potentially like a sanctum. A person could crawl down there if they were tiny enough and could squeeze through enough, and etc. But this definitely wasn't like an entrance, so to speak, to that area. So yeah, that's what you see. Let's see, Junker, what are you doing? I haven't heard anything from you in a while.
Let's see.
My cohorts.
I'm not sure what she's doing at the moment. I guess she's probably just after the ghost gather up, she'll probably turn off the engine. Once the ghost starts streaming in, and it just kind of things go quiet, and she'll just kind of looking around, and I guess they'll start going into the building and trying to find their target.
Okay. Does Junker have a weapon on her?
Well, I'll tell you if I need it.
Sure. Ooh, nice one. We're snarky tonight, Junker. All right, cool, excellent. So so Junker starts moving in. Breaker, what are you doing? I haven't heard from you in a while. Also,
I'm commanding my cohort. We are searching and destroying.
What are give me like the orders, like what are you calling out to these guys? Is there kind of filing in and in military fashion, taking up positions and drawing swords and pistols?
Secure the entrances, secure the exits. We're lucky you have We're looking for what's her name?
Lady Evangeline.
Lady what?
Evangeline.
Evangeline. We're looking for Evangeline. You each have a description of her. Do not try and take her alone. Call for backup. Move as a unit. No one take unnecessary risks. Any
Cool.
guards you see, kill them.
And what do they call you? Like, it's not like, it wouldn't be sir, wouldn't be like general. What's like the cult military leader what's the title? What do they call you?
Yes. Okay.
You can think on that.
Yes, I will.
All right, Peacock, what are you doing, buddy?
I think I want to use a tune to see if I can trace her, find her.
Okay.
Like attracts like and all.
And now, as one thing I do want to establish is: has anyone brought the artifact, and if so, who is that person?
I think Peacock has it.
I'm sorry. What was that?
I think Peacock has it.
Oh, I okay, sure.
How many load?
No, we're gonna call it 0 load. That's a Shanas freebie for tonight.
Okay. It weighs nothing.
It to a zealot, it weighs absolutely nothing at all. It could weigh
Exactly.
like,
There you go.
yes.
To a true believer.
All right, yeah. So let's attune. It's good. I'm gonna say at this point it's become risky, because there are other ghosts around. There's an assload of ghosts around, a bunch of ghosts.
So the ghost field itself is just incredibly disturbed.
Yeah. So risky standard. Did you want to do anything? Devil's bargain. Do you want to push yourself? You want someone to roll the dice?
What would a devil's bargain be?
Ooh.
Would I attract unwanted attention?
Again, last episode. Devil's bargain is Chinas reaches through her artifact, or begins to at least.
Do it. Do it.
I'll do it just because it sounds fun.
All right, one extra die.
I mean, you're not going to run around with an artifact that summons Shanas and not try and summon her at some point.
She does have a freebie from us, from our visage, glorious visage.
There you go.
She has a little toe hold already.
Exactly.
She does.
All right.
Okay. Let's roll this. Okay.
Nice. All right. So yeah, so I'm gonna say that you kind of reach out with into the ghost field. You kind of you actually like almost feel yourself like reaching through the ghost field, like with a disembodied hand that doesn't exist. And you can
something wet.
Yes. So I will say that you sense that she is upstairs. She's on the next floor up, in like what would be like bed chambers in like a small ballroom type of situation.
Okay.
You probably she probably gave you the tour, not knowing.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's definitely up on that level, so she's above you.
But I'll wave over to Junker and point. She's upstairs.
So the ghosts decide, basically they've slaughtered a whole bunch of people at this point. So as you are kind of going, I'm assuming you point out to Junker what's going on and you start going up in that direction, you do see out of the corner of your eye the ghosts are now kind of getting bored ghosts bad. And now now they're conglomerating around the front of the building where you guys came in. So that has been cut off right now.
I'm okay with that.
That is where the ward is, so that makes sense.
Well, the ward is no longer. I'll stipulate that the ward has been destroyed. It was obliterated by her.
I think that will work for us.
Yeah, it was obliterated by
Because
your
when
engagement
spirit
roll.
wardens show up, they're going to be in front of a bunch of ghosts.
Yeah, a bunch of ghosts.
Oh yeah. So,
So-
oh no, the spirit wardens are gonna be losing their shit over
Yes.
this.
So this is basically this partial success is turning a frown upside down for Peacock,
Yep.
basically.
Yeah. The cops are here. Oh God, ghosts.
All right. So Peacock is staying upstairs and has told Junker that she's in the next floor.
Correct.
Yes.
Excellent. All right. Tell me what you guys are doing. Who wants to do something next?
I guess we're. When do we meet up? Like, because you said this place was big, but not super big. So
Yeah,
is
you
the
guys are
point
gonna meet
where-
up like soon. Like you guys have once you guys have done this breach and you guys move past that, you're probably in the same large hall where Peacock and Junker found themselves before they headed upstairs. So you guys
Are
could
there
actually
any-
meet up right now.
I'm fine with that. Cause that would be my plan to secure the area and then go from there. So I'd be leading the cohort against whatever guards are in our path still.
Yeah, it seems like you guys can we agree you guys have assembled and are going up to the next floor?
Yeah, I say, she's taking refuge upstairs, where the front door.
Cool. All right. So yeah, as you guys kind of assemble and move upstairs, you see like
Can I just
Yeah.
say, I think I was thinking that fish that I would slip through that opening
Oh,
in the
yeah.
floor that the
The
bomb
hole.
opened up to go
Okay.
down and see what see if that was the sanctum. My goal would be to get in there and find the real entrance.
yeah, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Hold that. Put a pin in that. I'll be right back to you,
Okay.
Fish. Awesome idea.
Yep.
All right, so the three of you have assembled and are going upstairs. As you're walking up, you're basically seeing the guards that were there and that had been killed by the cohort and Breaker and Fish. They've been like electroplasmed. Their skin is charred. They're dead. They're smoky corpses right now. It's not pretty. It smells like, yeah. If you ever smelt burnt hair or something like that on a curling iron or something like that, or whatever, it's there's charred burning flesh. The stench is pervasive everywhere here. So yeah, as you guys are going upstairs, you kind of walk through this. It's kind of dark as you're getting up to the second floor. This whole between a bomb, between all these ghosts, candles and lanterns have been disturbed. So
The
there's
lights aren't working.
yeah, so the electroplasm has gone out. Electroplasm lights this is a rich place, so you would have that also. Those have gone out for the most part, or at least are flickering like they do in the movies. And
Ghosts.
you guys, yeah, so you guys get upstairs, and it opens up into like a ballroom that again is right now empty. Somewhere there's a storage area somewhere nearby where like tables and chairs are stored to be brought out for actual gatherings and stuff, but they're gone now. It's just an empty area. Even this weirdness is like several of you at least in this situation. This is the nicest place you've ever been. It's like so nice. I like what they did with this place. Kind of like a converse to your situations of general poverty, that kind of thing. So yeah, there are several rooms off of here. Only one has a closed door, and there is a decent sized lock on it. Like you can actually see, it's like the old fashioned, old timey, big key goes in, turns, etc. What do you do?
I look to Junker.
Well, I think somebody should peek through the keyhole if it's an old timey lock. Sorry, I'm down in the basement. I'll
They're
shut
down in
up.
the basement.
That's what it is.
So
Get back to
yeah,
the basement.
We blow things up on the second floor, Fish. We don't pick locks and shit.
Yeah, beyond that
Actually-
point.
actually, I could pick a lock.
Yes, you could. So so Peacock says, "Hey, Joker, what do you do?"
Tinker the lock right open.
Let's see. Yeah, I could take. Just click on my fine tinkering tools.
Sure.
Let me see. Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, so what's your plan here? What are you doing?
So I'm gonna try to open the door.
Okay, but like how? Tell me how you're trying to do it, so we can figure out how what set the
well-
scene here for us.
Well, she'll just take out some tools from her belt and sit down, kneel down, and just like jam them in there, and just jimmy them around a bit and try to like.
Jimmy around there, see what we can find.
All right. So what action are you using?
Tinker, I guess.
Okay.
Tinker's pretty much the go-to for picking locks and stuff.
True. All right. Go ahead and you're at this point. You're basically controlled. You have some time to take here at the moment. You're controlled standard, I would say, for this.
Okay. Any assist or push myself or something?
Yeah. Do you want to push, or does anyone want to assist in some fashion? Breaker can put a shoulder to the door to kind of give it some leverage or something.
Sure.
Yeah, Peacock's just standing there holding the idol, going like, "Go ahead."
Okay. Controlled standard. 2 bonus dice.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Critical.
Yes, critical success. All right. Yeah, so the door, she barely touches the tools to it. You'd almost think it was like, oh, was it really locked? You know, someone has to be asking themselves that. Was it really locked, or did we just pick a already unlocked door? Door swings open, and sure enough, Lady Evangeline is in there, and she is horrified. She's in this beautiful dress. She was obviously just about to go out. You interrupted her plans, and I hope that makes you feel bad inside.
It makes Breaker feel warm inside.
Yeah. The
Warms the cockles of his dead black mother.
so she was definitely going somewhere, and this was it was some place really fancy. She's wearing like, the satin gloves all the way up her bicep type area. She was dressed to the
gloves,
nines.
yeah.
She was dressed to the nines to go somewhere.
Going to the opera.
She looks again. There's 3 people there, but she says, was it come on. Sorry, and I'm interrupting my own flow. Ramira, how could you?
I should not have said it was time.
All right, hold up.
Time for noon.
Excellent. So we're downstairs. Fish has shimmied his way into the sub-basement, basement, whatever, and basically spilled out into. This is definitely a sanctum. And it's a nice one. Like your sanctum is nice in the sense that it is natural. It is just what it's Shanas's environment, basically. This is nice in the sense that everything is mosaic tile. There's like a large pool, like a sunken pool, like I would say about very not terribly deep, like 3 feet deep at all sides, and like half the size of a normal sunken swimming pool. But everything is mosaic tiles. Everything on the wall is mosaic tiles, and it's like the symbols of Shanas, the various ones. And there also are 2 adepts in there who have small knives and are terrified right now. But knives are out of sheaths, and they see fish. It's almost as if like the hole that was blown in the ground was like a birth canal that just spewed forth fish. And there he is, like out of nowhere.
Darkness.
First there's this boom, then there's this human or whatever that's just been splashed down on them, and you're about, I would say, 10 feet away from them. They look half frightened and half ready to stabby you. They haven't figured out yet what's going on.
Fear stab.
Yeah. What do you do, Fish?
First thing Fish does is says, "Anybody know the way out?"
Holy shit. Oh, wow. That's almost like a roll type of thing. I think it is. Holy Christ.
Fortune roll. It just because it's just sheer, just takes them aback completely.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I'm going to give you,
Yeah, that's strong.
Yeah, that's.
It's
roll,
like,
roll, roll 2 fortune dice. Let's see where this goes.
Okay.
Right over there.
Holy bajolies. One. So, one of them, just because you get the feeling that they're both, like, these are both like also rich people, used to being around rich people, and one guy just out of general etiquette. I mean, someone asks you a question, oh, it's right over there, and then before catches himself, points to basically there is an actual door over there, and the other guy basically starts advancing. So, what are you gonna do to stop this guy from cutting you, Fish?
I cut you so bad you don't like to be cut no more.
Wait, are you embodying the acolyte?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm providing
Gee,
the
thanks.
commentary.
He's flavor commentary.
Okay. Well, what Fish does, tell me if I'm understanding this right, uses Ghost Veil to shift partly into the ghost field, and invisibly swirls around behind that person. Now, this is something I don't understand in this description. Well, it says take 2 stress when you shift, plus 1 stress for each extra feature. What does that refer to?
So it refers to the stuff after it. If you want it to last a few minutes
it
rather than
lasts
moments,
a few minutes rather than
invisible rather than
you are
shadowy.
invisible is one of the features.
You may float through the air like a ghost. It's like those features cost another stress to invoke each individually.
All right. I don't think I need minutes. I think I just need moments.
Yeah. I'll say that the base expenditure gives you the opportunity to make ambush attack if that's what you want to do.
It's pretty dark now. It's not exactly
is that your
brightest
intent?
place in the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so let's do that. So you'll get to use
Shadow
your ambush.
stab.
So you get 1 extra dice.
Okay.
And what are you gonna?
You are now a D&D rogue. You can turn into darkness.
Pretty much.
All right.
All right. So you're what action are you using here?
Let's see. Would that be? Let's count some whole position. All button transfer obstacles. Ambush with close violence. A backstab. Throat cutting. Backstab. Close violence sounds like that's what I'm at.
So what action is that you're choosing?
That's prowl.
Okay, so let's do prowl. Gonna give yourself 1 bonus die. Do you want to push yourself? Do you want devil's bargain or anything?
No, what would be the devil's bargain?
The devil's bargain is while you're hitting this guy, the other guy is gonna stab you just a little bit.
Well, that's not fair. He was the nice one.
Well, that's to you stabby his buddy. Now he can actually be rude.
Oh man. Or I can push myself for essentially the equivalent value, right?
Yes, but for 2 stress.
Fine, I'll burn the stress.
Okay.
All right. So it's prowl.
Yeah, it's prowl and then 2 bonus die, and it's gonna be risky. We'll just call it risky great, actually.
Okay, risky. Okay, risky and great, and 2 bonus die. All right.
Okay. All right. So you kind of whirl around him. Next thing you know, your daggers or blade or whatever you have is planted in his back. And
I need to pick a weapon, don't I?
yeah, you have to pick a load. Pick something from your load.
Okay.
A blade or 2 probably is what you're going to choose.
It's just a blade or 2. Yeah, that's great.
There you go. So yeah. So you basically you stab the guy. The partial success is the other dude gets away. He basically, by the time you turn around, he's already abandoned his buddy and he's running up out of the place.
Running up the stairs that I was
Yeah.
trying to find anyway.
Yes.
Thanks,
but
thanks,
he is now able to do what he wants at the moment.
Okay.
Cool. Let's take it back
For
upstairs
now, until a ghost eats him.
until a ghost eats him. I hope he doesn't go with the front door.
Yeah.
So what's happening upstairs?
We just introduced ourselves.
Yeah, basically it was like, Peacock, no, and I was like, yes.
Peacock, yes.
Is she alone there?
She is alone. And she is cowering badly.
I'm gonna tell Breaker to seize her.
Okay. I'm assuming Breaker just does.
I'm going to attempt to. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. No,
Suddenly, magic powers.
she is in no way going to be able to resist you. So yes, you can grab her if that's what you choose.
I have just the item too.
Shanasi
Manacles.
demanded your sacrifice.
She's like, what? What? No, I have nothing but
You've
serve Shanas.
disappointed her.
I've served Shanas with every part of my being.
She begs to differ. And then I put her in manacles, because I actually have those. 0 weight item.
Oh my. We won't ask any questions, Breaker. What do you do in your time away from the lair is entirely up to you. So yeah, okay, she's manacled. What are you gonna do now? What are you guys up to?
I think we.
Where did Fish went down? Fish slipped through that hole he blew into the floor. I'm guessing he's looking for the sanctum.
Oh, you both. I'll say both Junker and Peacock see her eyes widen at that. Like, oh,
Like,
no.
Then that's where we go.
Knowing him, he's probably already found it and he's on his way here. I lug her over my shoulder like a cord would.
All right. So, Fish, what are you doing? Are you waiting down there? You're gonna come up?
Oh, I'm going to climb the stairs because I don't know that Fish knows that everybody else is on the second floor. But so I'm going to climb the stairs. Where do they come out?
They come out like the same stairs that they went up. Like underneath them is like you know how you have your stairs and they go up like this. You have the doorway right behind them that then goes down using that same kind of headspace there.
Sure, where Harry Potter used to sleep.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah.
But Harry Potter is not there, and thankfully for Harry.
Yeah.
Poor man.
There is an owl though. Anyway, yeah. So
he's strong in this world.
yeah. So I come out, and I hear some commotion upstairs, and so I say, "Yo,
Unhand me,
down
you
here,
scoundrel!"
Down here, I found it."
Speak of the devil.
Start moseying.
He starts moseying his gang back.
Yeah.
Keep watch, keep watch. And he gestures to his gang.
Junker, due to your preparation, I'm going to say that if you're going to cut out, this would be an incredible time to do such a thing.
Yeah, that's basically what she was going to do. When they go down to the sanctum, she's going to hang back and just try to go out the back door.
He's like, I've seen this show before. Nope. I don't want to do it again.
I'm not risking this. This is time to get the heck out of here.
All right. So describe, Junker, what you're doing as you kind of hang back. They walk down the stairs. What does Junker do?
Well, she's just gonna try to sneak out the back door.
All right. So let's just for kicks to make things a little simpler. Why don't you roll let's see. So yeah, I'll give you a standard 2 again. 2 fortune die. Let's see how you do.
I would say 2 is fair.
Well,
also-
I got prowl. Do you want
Oh.
to just roll prowl?
Sure. What do you have? Yeah, prowl.
How good is it?
Well, she's gonna push herself.
Okay.
What's position?
Good idea.
That's a really good question. I'm gonna say
Controlled for now, just because if someone catches her trying to be sneaky, they're like, "Wait, what are you doing?" Because we're
Well, there are
that's-
ghosts
there are ghosts. There are.
Oh,
everywhere.
that's true.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily us. We're not the only person she has to hide from.
Yeah, there are ghosts. There's theoretically a cohort potentially, somewhere around. So yeah, let's call it controlled
Risky.
standard. Let's do controlled
Okay.
standard. Actually, you
Yeah,
know
I
what?
guess
Let's do risky standard. I think that is more realistic here. So let's
Yeah.
do a risky standard.
If it was just us, but there is also ghosts and that random acolyte who might run into her. There's uncontrolled
Well,
variables.
the ghosts have been told not to attack anyone with the.
Well, that's what they originally
the brand,
were
right?
cool with, but now they're bored
Oh,
as
okay.
hell.
But they're
and,
now
bored.
they're-
But now they're
okay,
bored.
Yeah, I got it.
Bored ghosts tend not to behave
All right.
unless they like you, and these guys don't care about us.
These guys don't care. So yeah, Junker, you duck out. I'm gonna say that the partial success is basically as you're going out, one of the cohorts passes you by. Like, I've been told by Imperator Junker to go to converge on the house. Are you not coming?
The cohort.
Yeah. Yeah, one of them. Yeah, one of the guys.
Well, since I've never actually used this, I'm
Actually-
just gonna.
Is it one of my guys or is it one of the acolytes?
No, it's one of your guys. He was kind of like
Oh.
probably securing the exits, like you were saying.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so you ordered him to secure the exit. So yeah, he's like, yeah, it was. Yeah. So I see some shot gloves coming out.
Oh no.
Yeah, since I've never actually used it, she's gonna
I mean, yeah, that's fair. Hey, I'm fine
just
with it. It
gonna,
won't
like-
kill my guy, so.
she's just gonna put her hand on her shoulder and it's like shock him, and he just knocks him out, and she just keeps going.
Excellent. Yeah, that works for me. Cool. Yeah. So describe like what happens. Like, aren't you going inside, madam?
Yeah, she just keeps walking, and she just pats him on the shoulder, and it just like.
little smoke
Like,
whiffs off his
like-
shoulder as he goes
He's
down.
like seizing on the ground because his arms are all, he's like locked up, muscle spasm all over. It's like, he can't call out, but he's just stuck
Gotcha.
on.
All right. All right. Cool. So yeah. So the partial success. Yeah, you ran into this dude and etc.
Your presence has been noticed.
Well,
Forces
noticed
unknown
and
have
then
seen your
not
exit.
so much.
Well,
All right.
if he doesn't die, it might get noticed by other people.
No, I don't think. Yeah, the shot gloves won't kill him, but yes, he's
Yeah.
down for now. But yeah, so she just
so-
keeps walking. She looked like flies, but like casual, but not. She flies like she's going somewhere, but trying to look like she's flying casual type of thing.
She's
Yeah.
brisk. She's walking with purpose. It's not like sprinting, but it's like this is not someone who wants casual conversation.
Yeah, you should not be stopping me.
Well, I assume that there's like unholy chaos
I mean,
around the
there's
manor.
actually-
So she's basically just gonna try to slip away in like the chaos.
Cool, which she
She'd
does.
be one
Yeah.
of many people attempting to flee the small army of ghosts.
You just blend in with the crowd at this point. All right. That leaves us back downstairs. Everyone is now downstairs.
I'm sorry. Did you mention there was 2 adepts down here?
One is
There
now
was.
dead. The
There
other
was 2 adepts.
the other ran is no longer there.
Oh, isn't?
Yeah, he's the one that ran when
That's unfortunate.
Fish killed his buddy. What are you doing?
Are adepts filing in after us?
Sure.
Oh, good.
Yes,
Oh,
and
Jesus.
that's why I knew bringing them would come in handy. Exactly this purpose.
So what do you guys do?
I mean, in for a penny, in for a pound, or whatever, or something.
Exactly.
I think she goes up on the altar.
All right.
Now, how's this? What's it? Well, because you did give like a brief description, but how is this place laid out?
It's an oblong room, like a rectangle. In the about there's like an entrance area that door you guys just came in. Right next to it is the pool, that sunken pool, and the rest of it is just kind of open area. Again, all mosaic, all very fancy looking, gold gilded, etc. It's a rich person's sanctum / shrine.
Yeah, it's not earthy. It's not
Yeah.
to the roots like ours.
So, basically, as Peacock is basically looking for the altar, you all present feel you don't hear, but you feel this, like as if suddenly the ocean had opened up above you, and all the water in the universe is now rushing into the room and enveloping you. But it's just a sound. It's not a feeling so much. And that artifact that you're holding there, Peacock, dissolves into like silvery water. The silvery water makes its way towards the pool and sinks in, and suddenly the whole thing is filled up to the brim, like pulsating at the top with this form, and it's terrifying. Anybody who I suppose Fish is, well, actually Fish might be the only one who needs to make some kind of resolve roll to resist like pooping themselves,
technically,
basically.
I would.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm not immune in any way.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
true. He
So-
can talk with ghosts, but he isn't immune to other supernatural terrors in general.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, why don't you two make resolve rolls?
I am. Dang, I get lucky with the choices.
Where's the resolve roll? Where?
Click on the word resolve.
Where is the word resolve?
It is the third category on the right.
On your characters section.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, just
Doctor. You're killing me dead.
Take some stress.
what? Okay,
Wow.
bonus. No, but just leave bonus die 0.
At this
0.
point, it's just part of the charm.
I assume this was a resist.
Yeah, it's basically to not poop yourself and run screaming, basically.
Yep. The usual reaction when you get to see the physical manifestation of a forgotten.
Sure. So bonus die stays 0.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, submit.
All right, take 4 stress.
All
right. So yes, it's pulsating, burning. The whole room was lit by candles. The candles have been blown out by this whoosh that went past you, and what replaces it in terms of light is this pool. It's like this silvery, shiny, living pool that's now in front of you, and it's that terrifying beautiful. It's like what was that stupid movie where the guys that you see the thing and you go insane and you try to kill yourself, but whatever. So it's like, again, it's just so beautiful.
I'm reminded of Lord of the Rings, Galadriel and her evil, as beautiful and terrible as the storm, that kind of stuff.
Oh, sure. But yeah, so you're surrounded by this light now, this silvery moon-like light of what can only be the physical manifestation of your goddess right in front of you. And
I bow down and praise.
Baker immediately goes to one knee.
And
My
like
lady.
and Evangeline slops off your shoulder and slams her onto the ground.
Just drops her. She's like, no, this is important.
Yeah, you guys don't hear it, all three of you, so much as know it. It's like, what sacrifice have you brought before me? This, again, it's not a sound, it's not speaking, it's like your brain suddenly knows that this is what's happening. Like again, it's like it's part of you, your being at this point.
I mean, Reality Breaker, probably does it, but I help present Lady Evangeline.
We
This is the
together.
sacrifice you requested.
Yeah, she screams like no one has screamed before in your presence. She screams so much that you know there's blood in her throat from all this sound rushing out past her vocal cords, and she knows that that's all she can do. That's her last potential action is just to scream, and she's already terrified by the vision of this. You guys basically lift her up and get her close to the pool, and it just like the blob, it like reaches out, envelops her, and pulls her in, and you hear ah, and like staccato cut off as she goes under, and like there's like zero sound suddenly. The only sound you hear is again, it's not the tide, it's not the waves, it's like the undulation of this living water in front of you as it goes back and forth.
I'll start the chant of praise.
Yes. Yes.
The chant of praise. Yeah, you as that starts, and your adepts present bow their heads, and they're already kowtowing on the ground, but you feel pleasure. Like again, there's no words, there's no language here. It's just a matter of you're inside knowing. There's this wave of like pleasure that comes over you. You've done everything right. This is it. You are worthy. You are the ones. And then that's when we cut to a scene of Junker. She's basically giving her friend from the casino a hug as she kind of boards a little skiff that's going to take her to a ship. And you see that as she kind of cuts out, and like in the background, you see just a little ripple of like silver on the water, not unlike is inside the pool right now. As a what happens? Who knows? As we cut out, and
I imagine that she probably feels some like feeling on the scar on her chest. And she's like, "Oh no!" But when she gets there, I thought the ghost word specifically for this purpose. I'm going to use the other purpose that makes it like anathema to spirits.
Perfect. Yeah, and like this guy in the skiff who's like steering it, who's propelling it. You suddenly like crush this vial, and this liquid pops out, and this electroplasm flows, and he's just like he knows better than to ask what the hell's going on, but just kind of continues on. All right, so we fade to black. So let's say
I imagine that in the hold of the ship, she has like the whole room is covered in arcane markings to protect herself from like.
She's been preparing for this shit.
All right, so
how does one hide from a god? I will find the answer.
so we fade to black, and then suddenly there's 1 year later, and let's start with Fish. 1 year later, where is Fish? What's going on with Fish?
Man, I don't know.
This is your moment, Fish. Go for it.
If you were gonna say 10 minutes later, I could have told you, but 1 year later, wow. I don't know. I kind of want to go with something just really absurd. Fish is calling a gondola down a canal with two lovers in the gondola eyeing each other, and sitting back in the corner of the gondola is the oil painting of Fish's maybe mother.
Laying low. I see.
Yeah.
All right, Breaker. What's Breaker doing in here?
Year later, serving the cult. This time in his role, he is executor. That would be the title. Of its militant arm. He's taken his small band and has transformed him into like the core of the Breaker is no longer like a title. It's now like essentially the name of the order, the Order of the Breakers. And any who join, he teaches them in his methods for ghost fighting and for his not to be trifled with, his enhanced strength and his unmatched strength. All who anyone who is an initiate, they're just regular people. Anyone who is a full-fledged member, he has both of those abilities as well as him, and he's been continuing to improve upon his techniques and deepening his connections to Shanas.
Cool. Awesome. How about Peacock? Where's Peacock 1 year later?
I think you see him in a nicely appointed room, and has a variety of documents and maps in front of him, and there's a bowl of water in front of him, as well, half full, and he's speaking into it, and as he's speaking, you kind of hear the pair of voices, somewhere else, um, saying the same words, but
Very nice.
but obviously that dual tone, and he's like, and they have displeased Shanas, and you must take care of them.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. Good job. All right, and last but not least, how's Junker doing after her perilous trip?
I imagine she's probably back in Sevros in one of these like arcane fortresses. And she's
Some place to kind of chill out, away from all the stress of the world.
yeah, and she's trying to piece together like all the arcane lore and stuff, and trying to further her craft.
Cool. So she's left the cult behind and is just basically trying to reforge where she left off before she started up at the cult, basically.
Kinda, yeah.
Or go a step further and actually do all that research that she hadn't been able to do before. Now she has a coin.
She's taken what she's gained from the cult, the knowledge and the experience, and she's using it to further her academic and her investigations.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, cool, awesome. So that's the campaign. 10 sessions plus session 0 as promised.
Very
there we
nice.
go. So I hope everybody had a good time.
Excellent.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, that was a great ending. I like that.
Yeah, on all parts, I think that was pretty awesome.
I mean,
So-
definitely up to our wanted level, but
A little bit.
What is the cult's tier after a year? I'm honestly interested.
That's a really good question. I would say at least 2. Tier 2. You guys are building on stuff, but you're not quite there yet. But you definitely have that foothold that you didn't have before.
After what was? I mean, were we able to take control of the? Because what was the size of the cult outside of our cell of it, or were we just the cell of it?
That is a good question. That may
I know our
forever
cell was.
remain unknown.
I know our cell was tier 2.
Your cell was tier 1 in the game.
Was it? Let me see.
Yeah, you guys made
that's right.
tier
Yeah.
1. Yes.
That's right. We made tier 1. My mistake.
Yeah. So yes. So, oops, did we drop somebody? Oh Jesus.
Look like Neocurry.
Ooh.
Dropped out.
All right, wait for him to come back for a second. So, yeah. Come on, Neocurry, you got this. We're so close. We just have minutes left. You can do this. I have faith in you. Come on. His house just lost all electricity or something like that. He's not coming back. It's a very sad day in Scottsville. Come on.
Yep.
Come on, Yo, great. You got this, buddy. All right. All right, well, let's continue. I don't want to keep you guys. So here's the part where I guess I'll let you know how awesome you guys are. Again, I every single time I start off a new campaign on this channel, or at all, it's always a concern. It's always like, oh gosh, how are the players going to interact, or how's everything going to go? And it's a little stressful, to be quite honest. And you guys give me no reason to be stressful. So I mean, you guys are awesome. So first time player, Dr. Oculari. This is his very first role playing game experience. And you did a great job, Doctor. I mean, what killed me was like because of mechanics having to hold your creativity back. There it is, and that sucks. As a game master, like it actually
connected me.
You're fine. So as a game master, it actually hurts me inside to have to stifle your creativity. But in keeping true to the mechanics and kind of showing you those ropes, it was unfortunately necessary. So
I didn't. I just I understood it, and I just I mean, partly I wasn't doing it intentionally, but it was good to learn how this fits in. Where
and each game is going to have different mechanics.
This is one of these group activities like making a movie. There's no single creator in charge.
True. So I just want to say, you're always been the whole time you're creative and throwing stuff out there, and I greatly appreciate that. And you kind of jumped in with both feet, and went along with plans, and you did all the good stuff. So I appreciate your playing, Doctor. And again, being your very first role playing experience, that you did a great job. Just want to say that. Cassie Mouse, you're again awesome. You're another one where I hate to stunt your creativity and just for game mechanics sake, but I had to do that several times, and that hurts inside badly.
It's okay. Yeah, I was just trying to. I always had trouble like role playing Junker because I wasn't really sure what to do with the cult stuff.
Well, and that played well into her character too. That was great about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely, and I appreciate, I don't want to say rules lawyer because you're not, but rules expert. I appreciate that. You and everyone else really kind of helping me along with the rules. I'm not a master of this system. I don't feel like I am even now, because there's so many little facets of it. But thank you for also helping with that. That was always awesome, and your insights are always appreciated. So thank you so much. So I appreciate that. Neocree, geez, did you get into your character? Gosh, I think Breaker is the man you've always wanted to be inside. So go start a life of violent crime is my advice to you, because that's really where your heart lies. And I just want you to be happy, even if people have to die. I'm good with that. I like it. So yeah, and again, bringing it. You're a new player also to me, but not new to the role playing games, of course. So thank you for being awesome and enthusiastic and knowing the rules and all that kind of good stuff, and help me along with them. I really do appreciate that. So I hope that came across also to you. And then last but not least, Steve, my main man, Steve. Literally all my online campaigns he's been in on, and he's been a superstar every time.
All of them?
All the online ones, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I can't thank you enough for kind of being like, like kind of like the heart of the group in terms of kind of helping me to keep stuff moving, and smoothing things along and trying to keep everyone involved and everything like that. And I greatly appreciate that. Again, I really hope you felt that. I've been trying to get that across.
Great group. So
yeah. So thank you for being awesome as always. You're all awesome. and I had a great time with this campaign. It's definitely I have mixed feelings about this system. I felt like it did really great. It's like on one hand, I played Shadowrun, right? Shadowrun, a game
Yeah.
where you could literally spend weeks and weeks and weeks of game sessions just planning a job. And trust me, that fucking gets old. You just want to do what you're goddamn there to do. And this
Yeah.
game sidesteps that. That's a great positive. I love the hell out of that. The negative is that because of that system, the score becomes so integral, so important. In other games like Shadowrun, like you don't need to do a score. Like you make enough money from a score and you can live off that for a while and do what you want, and eventually you'll get another score. But you kind of role play between those. And this kind of it didn't give you that downtime. There was that impetus to
Well,
keep going with the score. When I was hoping when in other games, and I would have loved to done more role play and learn about your characters.
well, yeah. I feel like we could have did more role
Yeah.
play, but it felt like we were trying to do everything in one session.
Yeah.
Right, we're shooting
I
for the
feel
one
I,
cycle per session thing.
yeah, I feel that I have mixed feelings too. I feel like in some ways, yes, it's definitely because I mean, there's hard gameplay and mechanical like impetus to get onto the next heist, get onto the next score. I do think there could have been more time for free play. I think some of it was just we were still fleshing out characters. We just didn't have a lot of fodder for free play at the time. And uh, and there was also the time. There was also like where we only had 10 sessions, so there was a bit of a time crunch as well.
Right, so people wanted to get the scores done to
Yeah,
advance
I
and stuff like that.
I also think that this system, while it does have some definite interest, there's definitely some interesting and some pros about it. It definitely puts a lot on the GM. Like the GM has there's a lot of more than some. Like there's a lot of impetus on the GM to be pushing things along and to be scooting things in certain directions.
At times, definitely.
hmm But so it's like, yeah, I have ultimately, I think it's very interesting. I think with a more like long form, because it works well for short because that fits well into the just score to downtime to score. I think it lends itself. I think like the more doing more RP and more downtime, more free action stuff. It's I think that would come out more in a longer form campaign,
Sure.
Mhm.
or with one that was dealing more with like if we had more interactions with the other factions or that kind of stuff.
Right.
But again, that's a lot more of the GM has to come in with these hooks. And there's a lot to be
Yeah.
balancing.
Gotcha. Yeah. So again, positives and negatives, and one of the things I like to do these actual plays for is not just because I enjoyed GMing and doing them, is for learning for future players. One of the things when I'm getting into a new game, I immediately look for the actual plays online on YouTube and start watching some just to get a feel for it. So this is one of my reasons for doing this, is to again be a teaching tool for future people who are eventually going to come and want to play the game and kind of see it in motion. Because again, it's one thing to read it, it's another thing to see it actually be played, so that you can be comfortable with it. So I hope that anyone viewing this later,
Yeah.
sees that we did a lot of teaching here and
I,
a lot of learning, and there's a lot to do with this.
yeah, I feel like ideally we could have made the scores a little bit longer because for me there was not a lot of risk.
Yeah.
I never actually ran up to like where I might have got a trauma.
Gotcha.
I was
Well,
keeping a
you played it safe,
yeah
which was smart.
Which I think is appropriate for the character you were
Right.
Yeah, well, and that was
playing
another
also.
Yeah. And that was another thing. It was our a lot of our targets were at our level and below. So there wasn't a lot of like and we also generally played safe. So there wasn't a lot
yeah
of truly like desperate rolls or going up against people of multiple tiers higher
yeah.
than us.
I think the game really shines more if you're always going up against things at like 1 or 2 tiers above you.
And you're really throwing out those desperates, and like a desperate is more than just once in a while. It's like irregular. It's not constant, but it's not rare by any means.
Yeah.
Because that puts more is that definitely leans in more to some of the real penalties that are in the game.
Cool.
That real risk versus reward.
No, I totally agree. So let's kind of wrap it up. I'll give you guys, anyone kind of give you guys each a minute or so to kind of say what you'd like to say to kind of finish this off, or anything to tell. Well, we don't have many viewers, but in the future, anyone viewing this video, any final words for each other, for me, for whatever, just so you want to say, now's the time to do it. So why don't we start with Steve? What's your closing statement on the campaign?
Enjoyed the game. Was glad to actually get a long form campaign of it. 10 sessions being, not the longest, given our Dune game in the past, but definitely a more than a taste of a game.
Mm-hmm.
So many I get 2 or 3 sessions, and that's really not enough to see the advancement of a character, or the
Very true.
progression that you can make in a campaign. So thank you for that.
You betcha. Anytime. Casimos.
Yeah. I think I did pretty good. I really wish I could did better role play, because I felt like I didn't put as much effort into my character as I would liked. But I enjoyed the system overall. I like the like skipping the planning, because the planning sections are really boring. But yeah, I like the system overall. I originally had a character in mind that was more for like a criminal campaign, so I had to kind of like create a character on the fly.
That's cool.
Uh,
Did a good job, in my opinion. Cool. Anything else? If you're good.
No, not really.
All right, Dr. Akulari, what you got? What are your thoughts?
Well, as you said, it's the first time I've played one of these, and for me, the highlight is the goat cart chase.
That was a good one.
That was something that created, real images, in my head. Ones that if I was a bit more skillful, that I could really just sit down and draw the image that was in my. And I could. It was one of the. It was where I could hear it. I could feel. I have a vague recollection that it even showed up in a dream after we played that. But it really became something where, I was really feeling the sensations of that chase while we were doing it. It was really exciting.
Cool. All right, Neokri.
I liked it. I really enjoyed the campaign. I think everything came together pretty well. Everyone did really well with their characters. I know some of us might have had some issues with all the mechanics here and there, but I think everyone did their characters very well. Doctor, I really liked how you started playing the traumas with Fish near the last couple sessions, with the painting and with just the disinterest, the gradual disinterest in everything else. I thought that was very nice, very some subtle work. I like that. The Ramiro was great. I did like his transformation from like using, like, remember the cult believer, but just going full force into just sociopathic high priest. And I like Junker's transformation too, made sense. Slowly becoming disillusioned as we went more insane. I felt everyone's character was over time. I really liked where it developed. I think everyone's character ended up very fleshed out. I liked how Adrian Cross, how he's ended up. I felt, especially when I was not even certain I was on the whole thing with cults in the first place, actually. So I was really rooting for like one of the more standard types. I was thinking like Shadow when I first came in. I was just Shadowrun, but with a fantasy with more medieval type. But I really, as it went on, I really did start to see. I really saw the benefits of being in the cult. The twist it really brought, how it let things be a lot more interesting, and it led Adrian into a very different territory than when he was originally set up to be. Because it was just I had no setup for him originally. I think he turned out into a pretty interesting character by being a member of the cult.
Cool. Oh, awesome. All right. Well, that's it for the campaign. So, you guys are, like I said, you guys are awesome. You're welcome to future campaigns. So stay a member of the Discord, even if you're not into what's coming down the stream next, which is Tales from a Loop. I'm toying with running a second one simultaneously, like on Tuesdays or Sundays, and really go insane.
Yeah.
So I haven't yet to pick what that might be out yet. As I've talked with Steve, I'm looking forward to Cyberpunk Red when it comes out eventually, and then also Dune. Dune is in the
Yeah.
pipeline for like next year, I think.
I was wondering, you said something about a werewolf something one time.
Yeah, if Werewolf 5th edition comes out, I'm thinking of doing that also. I could see running that as more of a long-term one too. Something like that.
Okay.
Werewolf. I like vampires, and I like the Vampire the Masquerade and all, but I wouldn't want to run it forever. But I could see like I could be interested in werewolves for a long-term campaign, and I'm looking for a long-term campaign potentially. So anyway, so
I've heard of werewolves and vampires, so I'd be
Yeah.
interested in that.
yeah.
Yeah,
I've never actually played it.
World of Darkness is
Yeah.
definitely my favorite setting.
Cool. Yep. So something to think about. Stay members of the Discord. Feel free to join in and talk, whatever. And otherwise, thank you guys for being awesome in this campaign. I kind of get a little choked up at the end of these because it's a lot of stuff, that I put in motion and planned, and kind of saw it come to pretty awesome fruition. And again, the campaign's ending, and it's kind of sad to kind of say goodbye for a bit. But it's farewell. See you soon. So anyway, let's give a goodbye last time to each from each of our characters. Let's start with Neocree.
Take care, everyone. Perhaps you will see me again
All right.
in a later time.
And Dr. Arculari.
See you around.
All right. Chaos Mouse.
See you later, peoples.
And Steve.
Good night.
All right. And I am Scott of Scott's Case Files. If you're on Twitch, all my information is below. Otherwise, if you're watching this on video, there will be links to all the Discord, Twitter, Twitch, all that. So thank you guys for participating. Thank you anyone for watching, and hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. And take care. We'll see you soon.
Okay. Good night.